So, this is probably a rather triggering topic for a lot of people. And if you tend to be oversensitive and easily triggered, you should probably choose not to watch this video because being triggered is actually a habit and it's based on conscious decisions. And you should have the ability to choose whether you want to be upset or not. And if you do not have the ability to turn off this video and prevent yourself from being angry and triggered, that's considered a mental illness, a loss of control of one's actions. Okay, that's when mental illness becomes dangerous, and when mental health professionals want to put you on medication and put you in a mental hospital because you cannot control your actions. Okay. So that's just my disclaimer right there. Alright? So if you're mentally ill, go and seek help. Now that I got that out of the way. So most people are born into religion. Okay? It's essentially programmed into their brain. It's all that they've ever known to be true, and they've always been told it is the truth, and it just is. And they go from the time they're born into adulthood seeing the world through the eyes of this belief system. This belief system is not a fact, it's simply a belief system. It's one belief system out of infinite beliefs. Okay? Usually it's Christianity. And of course this can apply to all belief systems and philosophies, obviously. It doesn't even have to just be religion. This is found in all dogma, nutrition, your beliefs on medicine and politics. Everyone has to pick a side, pick a team, pick a tribe, and they defend it with their life, and they get so triggered if you have an opposing view, and it's crazy. And I believe it's the cause of most conflict and violence and hate in this world is the tribalistic nature of society and the human mind. And even further, media outlets, religion, and society in general take advantage of humans' susceptibility to tribalism, and they actually make money off of people's desire to pick a tribe, pick a team. People basically pick whatever team they think they can make the most money off of, and they put all their eggs in that basket and roll with it, and they market this team, this ideology or what have you, no matter what it is, whether paleo diet, vegan diet, and some of it's not money, but I'm just saying there are people who really believe in it. A lot of it is money. Okay. And these emotionally triggered people who are just like so far away from critical thought and seeing reality for what it is, they eat it up like a bunch of mosquitoes on a rotten hamburger out in the fucking parking lot. And that's really all it is, because the minute that you pick that team and you label yourself as Christian or anything that basically represents one absolute truth, right? Like libertarianism, or let's see, I don't know, like any kind of self-image in that way. That's when you cut yourself off to so many tools, because a belief system, a belief should serve you some kind of benefit. It should benefit you in some way. But most people live their life by these belief systems, and the belief, actually you're the slave. You are the slave to the belief. You're serving the belief system. And now you're basically the walking mascot of whatever belief system or whatever team you choose. And I've seen this all my life, and it's crazy. It's crazy, and the longer I live, the more I see this. Although the longer you live under one belief system, the more evidence you see. It's the law of attraction, actually. It's law of correspondence or what have you. But basically, the more true you think something is, the more evidence you'll probably find that it is true. And that's exactly why you have to understand it's a trap. Because, you could believe anything, and just because you think that it's true, you're going to see more evidence. It's called the reticular activating system. And this is a very amazing thing to look at in life. Most people, though, are not able to embrace the strength and the power of this because they all want to be right. They don't want to believe that, I could believe in, the complete opposite of what I believe in, right? Like, if you're a Christian, they don't want to think like, if I believed I was Satanist, I could, or if I believed in atheism or Luciferianism, not Satanism, that's different. I could find all the same evidence, the same amount of evidence that that's real as I can for Christianity. They don't want to admit that they could go both ways and still find the same amount of evidence that it's true. Most people can't break away from their current attachment to whatever they currently believe in. And so, some people live a very happy and fulfilling life following this belief. Because I suppose if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Or if you don't believe in something, then you'll have doubt in everything, or something of that nature. Some people live more fulfilling lives because they have a delusional belief in a religion or something than the people that try to see everything for what it is. And for the most part, I do think that ignorance is bliss. I think, actually, not exactly, but I believe that it can be. Ignorance can be bliss, alright? For a lot of people, depending on who you are and how much your mind is able to adapt to or is able to tolerate. But, essentially, religion can be very limiting. And because most people don't choose to be Christian, they are actually born into it, or they're forced into it, so to speak, or they're programmed to believe in it. They don't actually live by its principles. Because when you consciously choose to do something because it's something you're interested in, or something you desire, something you chose to do because you wanted to do it, it tends to work out for people a lot more. They're more congruent. Alright, they're more in alignment with what it is. But when you just believe something because that's just how life is, so to speak, when it's that way, it can be a lot easier to just be completely blind and ignorant about whatever it is you say you believe in. That's why you see a lot of Christians, promoting extreme hate and whatnot. Not all of them are that way, but, I'm just proving a point here. And the same thing can go for atheism. Atheism, a lot of them are extremely dogmatic. Atheism is like, there is no deities, it's a complete waste of time, essentially, to look beyond the unseen. Essentially. Now, not all atheists are this way, but most are. They're, what you could call materialists. And they believe only in science. Now, obviously, I'm not anti-science. Alright? I'm not anti-science. But I'm frustrated because most people who believe in science, they follow it dogmatically. And they mistake science as the be-all, end-all of knowledge. And I just feel like, that not only is that rigid, is closed-minded, but it's false. I mean, obviously, within our human experience, the closest thing we can get to facts, besides direct experience and observation, is science. However, just because something has been shown to be possible or possibly true, or has been shown evidence to be true through science, does not make it a fact. There are some things that you could say science has proven, like gravity and whatnot. Even though, I mean, that's our own human perception of gravity. So outside of our human perception, is gravity still true? You know, but most people can't think on that level. They think that you're thinking too hard about it. Like I've been told that you're thinking too deep about it, Wolfgang. You're thinking too deep about it. You know, like that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't benefit us to think that deep into it. But I don't know, like for me it kind of does. Because I don't want to just assume that science is true when there's a loophole that I see. But you know, most science people will you know, once again the dogma comes in and they're like, oh, you're an ignorant person, you're so stupid, this guy's stupid, what is he blabbering on to, psychobabble, quack, blah blah blah, like calling names and being a little fucking child, instead of thinking critically about it and actually trying to understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from and what I'm actually thinking. You know, science is the art, or actually science is the science of understanding the material, or just our human existence. It's the science of understanding our human existence. Understanding our human existence. So when people just automatically label you a quack and call you ignorant and stupid because you're questioning science, that in and of itself is unscientific. All right. Oh, because I'm not looking at your scientific evidence as facts. Now all of a sudden I'm a quack or something. Like, I mean, it's kind of like religion. Oh, like I don't believe in your commandments, right? Like I don't believe in your God. So now all of a sudden I'm a devil worshiper or whatever. To me, it's frustrating. I'm getting kind of frustrated right now thinking about this because these atheists and science-based motherfuckers are just as religious, essentially, the way I see religion, just as religious and dogmatic as Christians and people who do not follow science. And that's why I think like you should use everything as tools, right? Use science for what it is. It's a tool to help you understand things. It's not meant to be like followed blindly and worshipped. And that's the problem. Most people do worship it, and a lot of times the people who worship science and think it's the end-all be-all, and if you question it, you're crazy or something. These people are usually closed-minded and don't even understand the scientific body of literature revolving around the subject they're debating. For example, doctors and medicinal herbs. There's a lot of science behind many different herbs and natural remedies and practices of holistic healing, such as, let's just say some easy, like turmeric, ginger, green tea. Let's see, what else? Different dietary strategies, breathing, relaxation, etc. Okay. A lot of doctors call all that shit hocus pocus, even though there's science behind it. And then they claim that you don't have a medical degree, you don't understand science, and it's like, actually it's the opposite. I'm actually going based upon the science that I've seen. And if you want to debate me, we can talk about the scientific observations and yada yada. But there's more to it than just science. So anyway, I mean, like I'm going all over the place because there's so much. Like, this is literally an endless rabbit hole, okay? There's no end to it. There's no end to religious debate. There's no end to political debate, all right? And then a lot of this nutrition and stuff, I mean, it's a productive discussion for nutrition, but as far as, you know, perspective on life, I think that we all should aim to learn from each other, and we should aim to understand each other, rather than fight each other and prove who's right or wrong, because that will go on forever. That will go on forever. Now, I myself, I don't like to use labels or anything, but I suppose you can call me an occultist, a pagan occultist, or you could call me a Taoist. I believe in Taoism as well. I mean, my beliefs are in sync with Taoism, for the most part. Or an omniist, I guess. But I prefer, I guess, if you're going to label me as anything, occultist. Simply because I'm extremely interested in diving deeper. And the truth is, the majority of what I look into, and really I feel like truth is not the norm. There's no such thing as truth, but truth is simply the fact that there's no such thing as truth. But most people want to find truth. So it takes a special type of person to embrace the beauty of there is nothing. There's just infiniteness, right? An infinitely infinite universe. So it takes a special type of individual to embrace that. Because everybody else wants to believe something. It's ego, okay? It's ego. Alright, and claiming to be egoless or against the ego is in and of itself ego. And I've always just, it's kind of hurt me, I guess. Like, so many people want, pointing the fingers at everyone else. I'm right, you're wrong. Destroy the ego, like, worship God, accept the fact that there's no such thing as God, there's no such thing as religion. Like, how about we don't fucking know? But we don't know what's the truth, but we know that there's so many different ways of looking at things. And our ultimate goal is to be efficient and effective human beings. And, of course, be happy and yada yada. So how about we start to embrace the tools that can make us happy and that can get us to our goals. But at the same time, accept the fact that there's no truth and no fact. And not necessarily subscribe to just one thing, so to speak, or become a mascot or a slave to your belief system. So if it's not benefiting you, it's harming you, alright? Or serves no purpose, which would be stupid, alright? So yeah. Alright, if you have any questions or comments, post them down below and I'll talk to you soon.